So with assistant manager Jon Daly to preview Friday's game against UCD. Some tickets still available on stpatsfc.com. John, firstly, a couple of weeks of the international break since our last game, that 2-2 in Tallaght. So how has the break gone, and how have yourself, Tim, and the staff used it to keep the lads ticking over for the second part of the season?
Yeah, well, it's been good. I think it's been quite productive. We gave the lads just a few days at the start of the break, straight after the game. Gave them a few days off to recharge the batteries, and then we were straight back to work. Trying to focus on getting things sorted for the next next few games before the end of the first round. And we went over to Motherwell, played a game against probably arguably the form team in Scotland at the moment, outside the Old Firm. So that was a very good game. I thought we played some really good stuff, and you know the lads were excellent in it. So it was just one of those flying visit over in the morning, back in the evening. So in and out in the same day. So but it was great preparation for them, and I thought Motherwell were excellent in the way they handled us and the way they looked after us. So we spoke to the manager and stuff afterwards about how grateful we were for that, and a great opportunity for our lads to test themselves against a good team.
In terms of the international break, we had a couple of players in the Irish 19s, a couple of players in the Irish 21s as well. Have they all reported back for duty? And I'm sure they were all honoured as they all are to represent their country and represent their families in the club across the break. Yeah,
it was fantastic. We had obviously Adam and 𝗣𝗥𝗘𝗪 were in training with the 21s originally, and then Jay got kept on. Adam came back to us, which was fantastic for him to go in and train with that group, and then Jay obviously made an impression that he got kept on. Sam obviously getting called up to the 21s, fantastic for the club, but himself personally at such a young age to go and play for the 21s and acquitting himself really well in the game. And then obviously Sam again and Tommy in the 19s. I went down to Wexford and watched that game against Greece, and both played, which was great. And I think the biggest thing for us was they've all come through them experiences injury free, which is great. Sometimes when you have lads go away on international duty, they can pick up niggles or little knocks, and they've all come back in good shape. Obviously Sam's played a lot of minutes over the last week or so we'll obviously be mindful how we are with him in the next few days in the build up to the UCD game.
And staying on the team of squad wise, the three kind of medium term injuries, Danny Rogers, Tom 𝗣𝗥𝗘𝗪 and Harry Brockbank, they've had another couple of weeks of rehab with the medical team. How are they progressing?
Yeah, it's a long, slow process for them. They're all kind of doing their work and they're responding well to the treatment they're getting. So I think Sam Rice is relatively pleased with their progress. As I said, it's still slow. They're still a few weeks away. I think probably Tom will probably be the closest to being back. He's still a few weeks away. So we'll just have to make sure that they kind of come through every stage of the rehab with no issues. And at the moment, that's the way it's been.
Everybody else fitting well, and Jamie Lennon returns from suspension, which is a good boost.
Yeah, all good. Everybody's in good spirits, and obviously Lenny was missing the last game through suspension, so having him back brings back a very good player into the fold for us.
Last time out against Shamrock Rovers, John, a couple of weeks ago now, but a good point in Tallaght, a great 6,000 crowd for the lads to play in front of. Brilliant equaliser by Jake, and Dean Linus, who's doing the media with you this week, made his debut and made two fantastic saves. So overall, something really to build on now.
Yeah, massive crowd. As you said, they're the crowds that you want to play in front of, sold out stadiums, and we've been very fortunate to have that at Richmond in the couple of games we've had here as well. So crowds have been fantastic. I thought the lads responded well to going behind twice in that game. And obviously Jake popping up with a fantastic equaliser towards the end to give us a well-deserved point, and it's definitely something now that we obviously all aware that we need to build on, and we spoke about that after the game, that's kind of the marker we've set now, that we need to hit them levels a lot more regularly, and I think if we do that and we perform like that, we win more games than we don't. So that's the target now, is to try and put a little run together starting this Friday against UCD. And
just lastly on UCD, the opposition for Friday, we saw against them last season, despite beating them 4 times from 4, a lot of those games were tight, were competitive. UCD, are known for playing a really good brand of football and have lots of good, talented young players. What's your assessment of them, the threat we'll face?
100%. They're sitting in the bottom of the league at the minute. They haven't got a win, but I've watched nearly all their games from the start of the season, and they play good football. They've got some very good, talented young players in their squad, so they definitely pose a threat. But I think we have to make sure that we're playing our game and we're at it, and we're starting the game fast and I think if we're at our game and we're playing on top of it, we need to make sure that we're taking our chances when they come, and I think it makes the game a bit easier if you do that. And I think some other games we haven't taken chances, and it's made our games difficult. Last year they were fierce competitors, and we're expecting the same again. They're a fit team, so I think it's really important that we don't underestimate them at all, and we give them the respect they're due, but at the same time we have to make sure that we go out and do what we want to do as well.
Thanks, John. Best of luck.
Thank you.